Hello everyone. So today in this video we're going to solve assignment 1 of chapter 10, which was based on the topic class. So let us move quickly. So question number 1 was design a class named showroom with the following descriptions: instance variables or data members, string name to store the name of customer, long MOBNO, that is mobile number, to store the mobile number of the customer, double cost to store the cost of the items purchased, double dis to store the discount amount, and double amount to store the amount to be paid after discount. And the member methods are void input to input user name, mobile number and cost, and void calculate to calculate the discount on the purchase item based on the following criteria. These are the criteria. According to these criteria you have to calculate the discount. And void display to display the customer name, mobile number, amount to be paid after discount. Okay, we have to write a main method to create an object of the class and call the above methods. So let us start solving it. So first it is telling to create a class named showroom. So let us move to the BlueJ environment and create a class showroom where S and R are capital. Okay, you have to see what is given in the question. Don't change. Okay, S capital, R capital, single word, showroom. You created the class showroom, and then what? We have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instance variables or data member. This means this will be declared inside the class but outside the function. We'll be declaring here. First is string name, and then we have long MOBNO, and we have double cost, dis and amount. Double cost, dis and amount. Okay, you have declared all the instance variables. Okay, now we'll write the member methods. We have void input. You can also write public void input. Then we have void calculate, and we have void display, and we have a main method, that means void main. Clear? So there are total 1, 2, 3, 4 functions. Okay, so let us start solving each function. The first is void input. What to do here? To input customer's name, mobile number and cost. Okay, to input customer name, mobile number and cost. So either you can use scanner method or else you can use parameter method. In the parameter method, in the function chapter I told you how to solve it, that is by using 3-step input. That is, you have to take the input in main method, then do call by value, means pass the value to the input function and then store in the original variables. Either you can do the like that or you can use scanner. So let us use scanner in this program. Okay, both are fine, but let us do scanner. Scanner is always better. In your board exam, try to solve all questions using scanner or buffer reader. So java.util.*, you have to write every time when you use scanner. Then where you are going to take the input? In the input function. Here we will be writing throws input mismatch exception. Okay, and now we'll take the input. So before taking input, you have to write the scanner line, system.in, and before taking input you have to also write the print statement. So what you will print? Just tell the user what you want. You want the customer name, the mobile number and the cost. Input the customer's name, mobile number and cost of item. Okay, done. and I will take the input. Customer name, we will be taking this in the variable name. It is already written here in the question. To store the name of the customer, mobile number to store the mobile number of the customer, and double cost to store the cost of the items. So we'll be using name, mobile number, and cost now. So name, how to take input for string in scanner, that is x dot next line. For string you can also use x dot next, but x dot next will take only one word, but name generally it will have more than one word. Okay, basically at an average it has 2 or 3. So here we'll be taking next line. So the name is done. Then we'll take input for the mobile number, which is a long value, that is next long. And then we'll take input for cost, which is double, x dot next double. Done. Input is done. In the question it is asked to input customer name, mobile number, and cost. All the 3 things are done. Then in void calculate, we have to calculate the discount of the item purchased based on the following criteria. So now we will be creating if statements. If the cost is less than or equal to 10,000, cost is less than or equal to 10,000, then discount is 5%. So you have to take this variable dis, it is already given in the question. You can see, to store the discount amount. Okay, so let us take this is 5. Next is if it is more than 10,000 and less than or equal to 20,000. If cost is more than 10,000 and it is less than equal to 20,000, means between 10,000 to 20,000, then the discount is 10. Similarly, if the cost is greater than 20,000 and cost is less than equal to 35,000, then discount is 15. Don't write percentage symbol. Okay, percentage symbol in Java means you are doing modular division. Okay, you'll write just 10, 5, 15. Then if the cost is more than 35,000, the last one, then the discount is 20. But this is discount in percentage. We need discount in amount, right? We need discount in amount. This is discount amount. So now we will convert it to discount in amount, that is, so discount equal to discount divided by 100, percentage by 100 into the cost. This is the discount. This is pure mathematics. So you calculated the discount amount and stored it. Then what to do next? In the void display, you have to print the customer name, the mobile number, and amount to be paid after discount. Okay, so one more thing we need to calculate, that is the amount to be paid after discount. So here you can see that it is not mentioned in which function to do it. In void input it is told to take input. In void calculate it is told to calculate discount on the cost. It is just asked to calculate discount of the cost. Okay, but here it is telling to print you the amount after discount. So either you can calculate here, that is in void calculate, or you can also calculate here because it is not mentioned, but we'll do it in void calculate only because that function is used for calculation. So now the final amount is cost minus discount. Okay, clear? So calculate the amount to be paid after discount. So now our work is to print in the display function. This println, first is customer's name, which is NAME. It is present in the variable NAME. Let us copy this. Then we have customer's mobile number. It is asked customer name, mobile number, and amount to be paid. It is in MOBNO. customer's final amount. You can print final amount in rupees is present in the variable amount. Okay, display part is done. Then in the main function we need to create an object. It has asked you to create an object, so you have to create an object. If it will not ask, then you don't need to create an object. Here it has asked, and call all the above methods. So in the main function, first we will do what? We'll create object. So what is the syntax to create an object? Is the class name, that is showroom. Then object name, let it be OB equal to new class name parenthesis. And then what we'll do, we'll call the functions. OB dot input, the first function, OB dot calculate, that is the second function, and OB dot display. So remember, you have to call in sequence. Don't call OB display, that is don't write OB display before input, because you are not going to print before taking input. First is input, then calculate, it is the processing part, and then display, that is the printing. Okay, so now this program is completely done. Let us compile and run the program. Always run the main function. See, it is asking for customer name, let it be Abhishek, mobile number, and the cost be 50,000. Got customer name, and this is the mobile number in the final amount. Means though the cost of the item is 50,000, after discount it is only 40,000. Okay, so let us see if this program is correct. So we should get the answer as 40,000. So in board exam, always dry run, check if your final answer is correct. So our cost was 50,000, means it is this criteria, more than 35,000. What is the discount? 20%. So 20% of 50,000 is 10,000. So 10,000 is the discount. So 50,000 minus the discount, that is 10,000. The final amount is 40,000. So our program is completely correct. Okay. So now let us move to the next question. So this question also you have to solve in the similar way. Okay. There is a class name, there are instance variables, there are member methods, there are some calculations you have to do, and then you have to print it. Okay. And you'll call all the function using main method. This is the pattern that you get in your board exam. So it is very easy. If you solve 3 to 4 questions, you will get to understand how to solve these types of questions. And you'll be getting one question from this compulsorily. So let us solve this question. So here it is saying design a class railway ticket. Okay. Here you can see space is given. But according to identifier rule, space is not allowed. So you have to delete. Don't write like this. Okay. You have to also remember the syntaxes of Java. So here we will create railway ticket as a class. Okay, class is done. And next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instance variables, that is name, coach, mobile number, amount, and total amount. So we have name and coach, then we have long, mobile number, and we have int, amount, and total amount. Okay, you cannot change these names, okay, because it is mentioned in the question. If identifier names are already given in the question, you cannot change those. Then we will create the member methods. First is void accept, next is void update, and next is void display, and the last one is void main. Done. We have created the function. Now let us write inside this function. So void accept to do what? To take input for name, coach, mobile number, and amount. So let us do this question using 3-step input. In the last program I explained you how to do in scanner. Let us do this program using 3-step input. You can also do this program using scanner. It is always better to use scanner, but this program I want to show you using 3-step input. So in 3-step input, you have to take input in main method, then use call by value, and then store the values in the original variables. So we'll be taking input in main function. For what? For name, coach, mobile number and amount. String A for name, string B for coach, and then we have mobile number which is long C, and then we have amount, let it be int D. Okay, you have taken all the 4 inputs that it has asked, and now what we'll do, we'll call the function accept. Okay, we'll call the function accept and send the values. We'll call the function accept and send the values. What values? A, B, C, D. So you are sending means you have to store. So again here you have to write, let it be string P, string Q, long R and int S. Okay, now we have to keep this in the original variable, that is name and coach. Then we have the mobile number, and finally we have the amount. Done. We have taken the input. Next, what to do? Next, in the function void update, you have to update the amount. Okay, the original amount must be something. For example, let it be 1500. The user has inputted 1500, and if he has chosen first AC, then the new amount will be 1500 plus 700, that is 2200. Okay, you have to update means you have to add it. So how to solve this? So you have to check in if statement if he has entered first AC. So first AC is in string. First AC is in string. So you cannot check string for equality. Okay. So you cannot use double equal to check if 2 strings are equal. There is another method to check if strings are equal, which we will be studying in string chapter, that is chapter 11, the next chapter. But till now you don't know how to solve it. So now we have to change the program accordingly, so that without using any string function, we can check if these 2 strings are equal or not. So what we'll do, rather than asking user to input first AC, second AC in form of string, we'll ask to input them in the form of numbers. That is, we'll be writing a menu. Okay, so we'll make this, or we'll convert this program into a menu driven program. So before taking input, we have to give a menu. Okay, enter 1 for first AC, 2 for second AC, 3 for third AC, and 4 for sleeper. These are the 4 criteria we have: first, second, third and sleeper. Okay, so here we'll take another variable, let it be int E. Okay, in this E, he will be giving the choice, that is 1 for first AC, 2 for second AC, 3 for third AC, and 4 for sleeper. Okay, and we are not going to ask here. We don't want the user to enter first AC, second AC as a form of string, but rather in the form of numbers. Now in the main function, we'll check if E is equal to 1. That means it is first AC, obviously it is first AC. Let us declare this variable also. So similarly, we'll check for all the 4 cases. If it is 2, it is second AC. If it is 3, it is third AC. If it is 4, it is sleeper. And then finally we'll send the value. Okay, and then finally we'll send the value and store it in the original variable. And now we'll come to the void update function. So if it is first AC, then we'll update the amount by 700. So how to check? That means the choice should be 1. But here I have taken int E as what? As a local variable, means I have declared here. So it can be used only within these curly brackets. So we cannot use the variable e in this function. So what we'll do, we'll take another global variable, let it be ch. Ch means choice. And we'll store this value, that is the value of e in this choice, so that it can be reusable in other function. So here we'll check if choice is equal to 1, then total amount is amount plus 700. This is what it has stored to increase the value by 700. Similarly, for all the other cases, if it is 2, that is second SE, then increase by 500, and if it is 3, that is third SE, then increase by 250. Clear? Understood? And if it is slipper, you don't have to increase anything. That means if choice is 4, then total amount is equal to only amount. You don't have to write plus 0, okay? So now the updation is done. Next, what to do? To display all the details. That is the name, the coach, the total amount, and the mobile number. So now in the display function, we are going to print everything. System.out.println. First, we'll print the customer's name, which is in the variable name. Next, we'll print the customer's coach, which is in the variable coach. It is in the variable coach. Okay. Then we'll print what? The mobile number and then the final amount. Let us print the mobile number, customer's mobile number, which is in MOBNO, and then finally we'll print the final amount or the total amount, which is in total AMT. Done. Then what is left? You have still not called all the functions, and in the question it has also asked to create object. So let us first create the object. So that is class name, that is railway ticket, object name equal to new class name. Done. And now we'll not call asset directly because object is being created. So we'll write object dot function name, then again we'll call object dot the function update, and then finally we'll call display. And now our program is over. So now let us solve the next question. So you have to create a class electric bill, new class electric bill, class electric bill. Done. Then we have data members, string n, we have int units, and we have double bill. Then we have member methods, that is void accept, we have void calculate, and we have a main function, it's void main. In the void accept, you will accept the name of the customer and the number of units consumed. Let us use scanner, always preferable to use scanner, util dot asterisk. Then we'll write the throws input mismatch exception, and we'll take the input. Before that, you have to write the scanner line, and then the print statement, enter customers name and units consumed. So name, we have already the variable n. It is already told you in the question to take the variable n for name. X dot next line, and then number of units, integer. So x dot next int. Then you have taken the input. Now in the void calculate, we'll calculate the bill, okay, using the following criteria. First 100 units, 2 per unit. Next 200 units, 3 per unit, and above 300 units, 5 per unit. So here we will be using breakup formula. Next is there. So in class 9, when we solved breakup formula, I have already told you, generally next word, when next word is there, you have to use the breakup formula. Okay. And here another thing is that if the surcharge of 2.5% is charged, if the number of units consumed above 300. So if it is above 300, then extra 2.5 will be added to the final amount. So let us solve it. If units is less than equal to 100, that is first 100 units, then what you have to do? Rate is 2 per unit. Bill equal to 2 into units, 2 per unit. Next 200 units means 100 plus 200, 300. And say if units is greater than 100 and units less than equal to 300. 100 to 300 means next 200 units. Then the bill is 3 per unit. But it is only for the next 200. So you have already given for the first 100, that is 2 into 100. First 100 is given, plus 3 into total units minus 100. You have already given 200, you have to subtract that. This is breakup formula. Okay. And the last one, if units is greater than 300, then what you will do? You will calculate the bill. That is first 100 units is 2 plus next 200 unit is 3 plus 5 into remaining. Remaining is you have already paid for 300. Here 100, here 200 you have already paid. So whatever is more than 300, you have to pay 5 per unit. And there is an extra surcharge. Here 2.5 charge if it is more than 300. So you will add another 2.5% to the final bill. So this is the calculation part. So you have calculated the bill. Now what to do? You have to print it. But are you seeing anywhere it is told about printing? No, it is not told about printing. Means you don't need another function to print it. And it is not mentioned where to print. So you can print in calculate. You can print in main method as you wish. Okay. So let us print in the main method. So in the main method, we have to create an object and call them methods. So let us first create the object, that is class name electric bill, object name equal to new class name parenthesis, and then let us call the object. First one is accept, second one is calculate, and finally we will print the values. Print customer name, which is in the variable n, and then let us print the units consumed, which is in units, and then we'll print the bill. Which is present in the variable bill. So this completes our program. In the similar way, you have to solve question number 4 and question number 5. So I will also be giving you the answer in a PDF form in the WhatsApp group. Go through question number 4 and 5. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the discussion forum. So now I will take a leave. Have a nice day. Thank you.